And tonight, the series premiere on FS1, Fox Sports, The Ultimate Fighter. It premieres tonight, their 27th season, where they have 8 dynamic unbeaten lightweights and 8 unbeaten featherweight fighters. And let's bring on our friend, the UFC light heavyweight champ, Daniel Cormier. By the way, I haven't seen you since a crazy Conor McGregor bus incident. So I want to run the tape of this. I first thought it was a stunt, and you don't think it's a stunt.
The UFC wished it was a stunt, but it wasn't, man. When I look at it, Colin, I understand Khabib and him smacked around Conor's friend. He would want to come and defend him, but that's not the way to do it. You don't throw a hand truck or a dolly through the bus with all these fighters. But
I heard
it was crazy.
There are people that thought it, I'll just throw this out there. I read things, people thought it was drug-induced.
No, they thought it was crazy because we're in New York City. Things happen in those big cities like that. So all these fighters are on the bus taking cover. They're on the ground, a lot of them, like, what in the world is going on?
Hey, by the way, do you think Conor's going to fight again?
I do believe he's going to fight Khabib. Conor had become such a big star that it would have to be a real big fight in order to get him to fight.
Yeah, you need to pay him $10 million or he's not going to fight.
Yeah, he would have to fight somebody big. And I believe that as bad as that action was, which will cost him now, ultimately I think he'll capitalize on it with a big fight because now Khabib is an interesting opponent.
26-0.
26-0, undefeated UFC lightweight champion.
I saw his last fight. Was it 2 Saturdays ago?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Daniel Cormier. And by the way, let me throw this out because I haven't talked to you since then. The Mayweather fight, I always thought it doesn't make any sense. But listen, I understand the UFC business. You got, Brock left and Ronda left and John Jones has the suspensions.
Yeah.
And then Conor, who knows if you can get him. Listen, boxing and UFC are as good as their stars.
Yeah.
And I look at Mayweather and I think if he fought tomorrow, I'd watch. I'd watch if he fought a tomato can UFC fighter. Do you think Floyd Mayweather fights?
I don't think Floyd fights in the UFC unless they work out these rules that have been talked about. There was an article that came out last week that said Floyd would fight Conor, but there would be no elbows, no knees, no takedowns, or no kicks.
Well, that's boxing.
That's boxing in an octagon with 4-ounce gloves.
What if let's say there's a UFC guy and let's say his record is like 3-6, but he is a UFC fighter. Mm-hmm. Could he beat Floyd?
Any mixed martial artist would beat Floyd in a full-on mixed martial arts fight. Because when you start kicking guys, they turn. They don't, you kick a normal person that's never been kicked, they can't really handle that. And Floyd would probably fall down from leg kicks.
So he would get dominated by a bad UFC fighter.
Yeah, because he just only has that one skill. He's the greatest boxer of all time. I'm a massive fan, but in a mixed martial arts fight, complete mixed martial arts, that'd be like asking a guy...
how long would it take Conor McGregor and Mayweather fight, and you can do anything in UFC rules? How long would the fight last, and how would it end?
It would be Conor's determination as to how long he would let him fight. He could get him out there quick, or he can make it last. But, he would be completely ripped up because Conor would take him down. He would elbow him, and his face would be you don't want to fight. You don't want to be outmatched in the octagon like that because it can get really bad.
So Conor would take him out in 2 minutes.
But he can't
if
use elbows.
Wanted to.
Isn't that the rule?
If they fight, that would be the rule, Kristen. It would be no elbows. But if it was a full-on fight, it would be no competition.
2 minutes.
2 minutes a minute if Conor wanted it to be a minute.
It'd be a minute long.
If he wanted it to be.
I could run from you for 40 seconds.
No, you couldn't.
I would like to see that.
We would chase you down.
That is not a challenge. I was joking for television purposes.
Yes.
Okay, so the way this goes, if you've never seen this, when you do The Ultimate Fighter, you find these young guys and explain the whole premise of this show.
Okay, so this season, The Ultimate Fighter, all undefeated guys. Great fighters. 16 fighters total, 8 lightweights, 8 featherweights. They go through a process where they come in, they try out, they box, they do a little bit of grappling, and then Sean Shelby McMaynard, they pick them. It's just like any other reality show. And once the guys get into the show, we pick teams. Like tonight, the big deal is we're going to pick our teams. We go in, we're going to watch footage, we're going to recruit, we're going to find which guys we want to train over the course of 6 weeks.
Any of these guys, could they be a star?
There are some that can be stars,
Okay,
man.
so I could be watching right now a 21-year-old Conor McGregor.
Think about it, though. You got guys, 7 guys and women. Rose Namajunas is a star. She was on The Ultimate Fighter. Robert Whittaker, who's the middleweight champion of the world right now, was on The Ultimate Fighter. Tony Ferguson, who came in here a couple weeks ago, was supposed to fight Khabib, was a champion, was on The Ultimate Fighter.
So they were on this show, which debuts tonight, FS1 at 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you've never watched this, premieres their 27th season. Now, there's more than one season per year, but it's been going on for about 15 years.
Yeah, it's going on for a long time. And this year, first undefeated season, and also it's coached by me and Stipe Miocic. You know, the heavyweight champ versus the light heavyweight champ.
You're fighting July 7th.
Yeah.
By the way, you could end up being the only lightweight and heavyweight champ in the history of the sport.
Yes. Conor has won 2 belts. Obviously, we know that.
Right.
But that was at 145 and 155. Nobody's attempted or done it at light heavyweight and heavyweight. It's insane.
Are you know, I want to go back to this Conor McGregor thing. So Conor was crazy and the bus thing, and he's wild. And, you know, but I got to tell you this. In a weird way, I think it's genius. Because I think he's becoming the villain in the American sports. He's the bad guy.
He was universally loved, but I think you say it's not as bad as originally thought, because you can see now that, say that this cost him a few $1 million, which it will, because what is he going to make if this fight does come to pass? Because people are going to go, I want to either support Conor, or I want to see him get what's coming to him from Khabib.
See, you UFC fighters are different. For Tom Brady, Visa would say no way, and Peyton Manning, Tide, and Papa John's are like, woo. You guys make your money on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, I don't care if a guy's a villain. If a guy's a badass, I'm going to watch him fight.
So
I don't care.
Colin, did Burger King jump off board with Conor McGregor? No. He's got blue chip sponsors. He's the face of Burger King, the new ads. He has Monster Energy drink, which is another major company.
But Monster Energy drink doesn't mind being the villain.
No, he has a ton of big-time sponsors, and nobody said, hey, we're off the Conor McGregor business because of this action. At least I haven't heard it publicly.
Okay, Daniel Cormier, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific tonight. 27th season of The Ultimate Fighter, and you're active in this. You're a UFC light heavyweight champ, and I appreciate it, dude.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Daniel Cormier, I still think I could. How long could I run from you? How long?
In an octagon?
No,
you would start to run,
okay,
and I would just cut off the cage, right? So you'd start running to your right, and I would just step to the left and try to set traps.
But here's what I would do. I would look like I was running right. And then then I would go left.
So you would juke. You're Marshall Falk now. So you're Marshall Falk now. You're Barry Sanders. You're going to be juking
OBJ over there.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.